All right, you guys. So I want to talk about the dynamics between, and no one ever talks about this on Facebook. What? Facebook? On TikTok? I don't even have a Facebook page. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, no one ever talks about this topic about within the family dynamic and the different class systems within the family. So let me explain. So when I was growing up, we were like in my family, like my household, we were like the first ones to like move out of like the hood to a like predominantly white area. And we're probably like the only ones still. Like, yeah, okay. Maybe it's like one other ones, but yeah. Anyway, so when we did that, our family, we moved from South Jamaica, Queens, like Rosedale area, we moved to Long Island, all the way out in Suffolk County, the burbs, right? And I remember like the culture shock of it all. Being the only black boy in the class, being the only black family, one of the only other black families in like our cul-de-sac or circle or development where we live, and that was a culture shock for me. I don't know how much it was for my other siblings, but for me it was a culture shock. Not only that, I went from going from private school in Queens to a public school, which again, another culture shock because I was used to wearing uniforms. Now we can wear regular clothes. Just a bunch of things that, I went through as a child that also contributed to certain adult traumas that I had or have or working through. That's real transparent. So a lot of times we have the trauma from our childhood that wasn't surrounded around physical abuse or a lot of traumatic abuse. It was just like the circumstances that we deal with that sometimes might be traumatic, but we're just so used to dealing with them that we don't even view it as toxic or traumatic. But put in the comments, stitch this, duet this, let me know, were you one of the ones in your family who, or maybe was it your family who was the first one to move out the hood and you were picked and prodded and joked on because of it? I know some of my black cousins were like, well, my cousins are black, but my cousins were like, oh, you talk white. Oh, you think you're white. You speak so proper. Yeah, just like that. You speak so proper. As if speaking proper English is white adjacent. But anyway, yeah, so let me know, has this contributed to the person you are today? Has this made you better? Has this made you worse? Or were you the one that was, were made to feel different because you lived in the hood and then everyone else lived in like a rich area? Because I know for sure, I saw like the green envy eyes with certain cousins would come to my house and they would see the in-ground pool in the backyard, the 6 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 2-car garage, front and backyard. They would be like, now I come from Queens where we had front and backyards, but no one had 6 bedrooms, no one had 3 bathrooms, no one had 2-car garages. I mean, not where we live in Queens. So it was just a different environment. And then when they saw like what our friends had, like when I was in high school, my friends had BMWs, they had Benzes, they had Range Rovers, they had luxury cars. They didn't have like some Honda, some Hyundai. They had luxury cars. I remember one time my dad's friend was at my house, and I think I either was getting picked up or dropped off, and the car pulled up, and he was like, oh, I thought that was a parent. Because I think my friend, her name was Samara Geller, she had like a MLK, some sort of like, no, she was driving her dad's car, CL something, right? And the way my dad's friend looked at me, then looked like what? And then it went from what to like, oh, I didn't have that when I was in high school. I didn't have that when I was a kid. So I've dealt with like people being jealous of me and what I've had for a long time. So now when I experience that, I'm just like, oh girl, get out of here. Like what?